It's known simply as a weather bomb. Storm Alex hitting southeast France in October 2020. At its heart, the area just north of the city of Nice. Torrential rain bursting the banks of rivers, residents trapped in their homes, entire houses swept away in the currents, sometimes with their owners still inside. The death toll high, 10 dead in the Alpes-Maritime region, 8 others still missing to this day, hundreds of buildings and roads destroyed. Well, the village, which became the symbol of the catastrophe, Tende, perched in the valley of the Roya. More than 2,000 people cut off from the world without running water or electricity for several weeks. Supplies fueled in by helicopter as all the roads had been washed away. Since then, access has once again, almost miraculously, been restored. But not everyone has been able to return. Some houses just too weakened by the floods. More than 300 people have left, in fact, and most will probably never return. More than a year later, the wounds of Storm Alex still wide open. Well, Pierre Varou revisits Tende for France 24.
It is now time to remember what happened when Storm Alex hit the Alpes-Maritimes a year ago to the day.
13 villages suffered 18 deaths, of which only 10 were recovered.
The valley and its residents have been left deeply traumatized.
It brings to mind Tende shepherd Paul Giordano, who disappeared during the storm. This morning there will be an official tribute to him. A statue of him will be inaugurated at 11:30 at the church in Tende.
Dear Armand, my dear Armand.
A solemn morning gathering on the slopes of Tende, southeast France.
The National Order of Merit and myself entrust you with this statue in homage to your shepherd brother. Long live the Republic, and long live our beautiful France.
Officials have come from across the valley to pay tribute to the shepherd who went missing in the storm a year ago.
It's a great tribute to my poor brother. A really nice tribute.
How do you feel today?
We're doing fine, but it's pretty hard.
The evening of the storm, Armand and his brother were guiding their sheep to the sheepfold. Sensing the storm catching up with them, Armand took the lead, his brother following after.
We crossed this bridge, and I said to my brother, "We're safe." The bridge held. Suddenly, I heard everything collapse. I saw everything disappear. Him, the sheep. That's all there is to say.
Armand was also carried away by the water.
Branches, wood, stones were hitting me in the legs and the side.
Over several hours, despite the violent current, he held on, clinging to a tree.
That's my savior. That's the one I clung to. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here anymore.
Over a year later, the body of his brother has still not been found.
I can't mourn until I find him. I don't know where he is. He could be just over there or in the sea. I don't know. Maybe he's buried down there, with 4 or 5 meters of earth on him, and all those stones. What is there to find? We won't find anything.
Armand has placed a memorial here, at the spot where his brother disappeared.
He's not in the cemetery anyway. We'll come here when we can. When I pass by, I see him every day at least. I think of him and it wakes me up. I wasn't sleeping much before, but now I don't sleep like I used to. What can I do? It's something that lasts for the rest of your life.
Here we are.
Where are we now, Serge?
I live here in a little 20-meter square studio. I'm supported by the regional council.
Serge was moved here the day following the catastrophe. His house is located in an area that has now been classified as dangerous.
The kitchen, the bedroom, the sitting room, everything's here.
Until now, he's been paying the rent thanks to help from local regional authorities, but starting next month, he will have to support himself.
If this stops, I'll be out on the street, and that makes me afraid. I think about it all the time, every day. I live from day to day. I don't know what the next day will be like. I hope I'll get help, and above all, I'll be able to find a new home like before.
Serge used to live in his family house near the river at the entrance to the village. He survived off his pension and the fruits of his vegetable garden.
The camper van is gone. My tractor is gone. My garage is gone.
The storm left him with nothing but a suitcase of memories and sleepless nights.
Almost every night I dream that I'm at home, that there's a disaster, that there's water coming in, and I need to leave. The shock really does come later. At the time, you're so shaken up that you don't understand what is happening to you. A year later, I really started to understand the damage.
Par contre, maintenant, un an après, je pense que je commence à réaliser vraiment les dégâts, quoi.
The storm has transformed the valley and the lives of its residents. On his land, now at the center of the new riverbed, only the shell of a building remains as a reminder of his former life. Despite an order from local authorities forbidding him from entering, Serge returns here frequently. So the cats haven't left then, Serge?
No, the cats stayed. They didn't move out. They stayed in the house. A cat is definitely attached to his house. The boss comes second, but it's mainly the house. They don't want to leave.
And you, does it make you feel good to come back here or not?
It makes me feel bad, but at the same time, I need to come. I can't stay here without coming. I just have to. I spent all my life here. It hurts, but at the same time, I need to see my house again for a while before it's demolished.
An expropriation procedure is underway to destroy Serge's family house, after which he is due to be compensated. The pensioner fears that this sum will not allow him to find a new home in Tende. Have you thought about leaving Tende?
No, never. It's my place here. It's where I was born. Where would I go? My roots are in Tende. My daily life is here. Leave? No. That's why they have to help people like me to stay.
Like Serge, a dozen other families have lost their houses. Jean-Pierre Vassalot has been the mayor here for over 20 years. He is now the one responsible for bringing terrible news to the people of his town.
I can't tell you how sad it was when we had to. I almost couldn't bring myself to do it when I had to tell them, we're going to destroy your house. It was a terrible blow to the family, and I still feel sick thinking about it.
A year after the storm, 55 families still cannot return home. They're forced to wait for storm defences to be reinforced. Some have already made the choice to leave.
We want to rebuild. To get people back on their feet, we have to get through this.
Above all, people must come back to the village.
Return is key. People must come back.
Why did you say that?
Why? Ask the mayor. Since last October, we've had a whole load of households who have left permanently to live further down.
Does that make you sad?
Yes, it's sad. We're left with, excuse the expression, a ghost town.
Italy ceded the town of Tende to France after the Second World War. The population has always hovered around 2,000 residents, but since the storm, a quarter have left, and the exodus threatens to continue. The limits of a new danger zone forbidden to residents has just been drawn up.
We'll go house by house. It'll basically mean another 5 or 6 houses.
And in total?
Well, really, there's a lot more. You've got the 11 that have been destroyed, and then the 5 or 6 more that have to go. It's hard. In a village, the importance of a house is family, children who go to school. The whole balance of the village is centered around its daily business and around the structures in place. The doctors, the pharmacy, the village shop. It's a balance that we need to preserve.
To maintain this balance, public services have had to adapt at a swift pace. Marilyn, what do you have in your hand?
I have medicine. The post office has been delivering it since the summer. The pharmacy closed on June the 30th. Medicines are ordered the same day until 11:30 a.m. and the post office goes to the neighbouring village and delivers them between 1 and 3 p.m. to customers. Hello, how are you? A little medicine delivery. Here you go, Jean-Pierre. And if you can sign here.
What would you have done without this service?
We would have been in real trouble, that's for sure. We even thought about leaving. We support each other, but we're both ill and have no car.
Have you noticed that there have been fewer people in the valley since the storm hit?
Yes, of course. First of all, in the framework of my professional activity, there are some addresses we've stopped delivering to, closed up houses. I'm also aware of it personally. I'm the mother of a 9-year-old boy, and I know that at school there are 50 fewer children.
Apart from an aging railway, the business and economy of the village depends on 2 access roads, one towards neighbouring Italy, another towards the French coast. Since the storm, the first has been impassable. The second is still under construction.
What has changed is that we spend more time on the road. We lose time in the car that we didn't lose before, but that has improved significantly. Everything is tarmac now and it's fine, but at the beginning, we had to drive along a track. It disturbs me every day when I look at the Roya or at parts of the road that have been washed away. Every day, I think about what happened, and I see all this damage. It's a wound that has never healed.
Nadege is a private nurse. She had to leave her own home when its foundations were exposed by water.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Ça va?
In the weeks following the disaster, despite her trauma and fatigue, she continued her rounds. Now she would like to take a step back, but recruiting a replacement seems impossible.
Before the storm, we were 3 nurses. We're only 2 now. Our third colleague had plans to leave to go and work on the coast, but the problem was that she could not be replaced because there weren't enough patients. We're on the ward constantly, but we have a lot fewer clients.
Does that affect your daily life?
It weighs on the daily routine because it's gone on so long. It's been a year. We've worked like this for a year.
Moved by the support he received, Armand has decided to keep his herd and his farm. Serge is waiting to know what his compensation will be. He admits that he's ready to do anything to stay in his native village, even if it means moving back into his house in protest. The mayor continues to fight to bring his hamlet back to life. He hopes to find new building land in the commune soon. Storm Alex was over in a matter of hours, but it has left catastrophic scars. 1 year on, residents of this valley in southeast France are still struggling to recover.
Pierre Varro revisiting Tende for France 24. Well, that's all from this week's edition. Don't forget, of course, you can catch it and all the previous editions as well on our website at france24.com. More news coming up very shortly. Thanks for watching.